Hey, it's Mike Matthews, the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast on planet Earth by a guy named Mike in the land of Ameritopica. It's Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 3239, 3239. I am not a huge fan of these weight loss drugs, and it's just the same suspiciousness, this thing where I'm very suspicious of it, because it must be from 20 years ago when a lot of people I knew were getting that thing, the gastric bypass, or they'd get this thing called the lap band or the stomach staple or any of that stuff where they basically shrunk the stomach so that you wouldn't eat as much. You wouldn't have as big an appetite, which all that invasive, the surgery of just cutting into your body to try and make you thinner, also the liposuction and all of that, just freaks me out, makes no sense to me, because in the end, you're not fixing the root problem, which is you're eating bad things. You're eating processed foods, and yes, I sound a little like RFK Jr. here with this, but, you know, you got to eat healthier things, stuff that the cabbage. I found out RFK Jr. eats sauerkraut with just about everything, which, hey, it's a probiotic. It's pretty good for your stomach. I'm mostly German, so I already inherently love sauerkraut. And it's good. Of course, you got to pair it with something. I don't know if just eating it raw, maybe that's a thing you like to do. But what they're finding out about these new weight loss pills, because remember, there's only been the shot up until now for these special GLP-1 medications. The Wegovy pill now has been introduced. It's just as effective as the shots, according to health.com. It promotes weight loss by activating glucagon-like peptide 1 receptors, which play a role in regulating blood sugar and appetite. These drugs slow digestion, helping you feel full for longer and telling your brain that you're satisfied, reducing hunger. However, they say that weight loss results may take longer with the pill as compared to the shot. But it is about the same price as injections. It has potential side effects. In the clinical trials, patients on the Wegovy pill reported side effects similar to the shot, including nausea, diarrhea, etc. It requires a more structured schedule, however. The weekly Wegovy injections can be taken at any time, but the pill regimen is more specific. You got to take the pill in the morning on an empty stomach and wait at least 30 minutes before eating, drinking, or taking any other oral medications. And it is not the only GLP-1 pill on the market, and it won't be the last. The Wegovy pill is the only GLP-1 tablet approved for weight loss at this time. But another semi-glutide pill called Rybelsus is already on the market, greenlit only for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. And another GLP-1 pill for weight loss is also on the way. Eli Lilly, maker of Zepbound and Mounjaro, and a Novo Nordisk competitor is developing a tablet called Orforglipron, which is expected to receive FDA approval in just a few months. Oh yeah, and I agree. Okay, if you've got diabetes and your doctor's like, oh, we got to get you to lose weight, we got to do it now, and you don't have the time to rearrange your entire dietary thing, I've heard the experts say that's where these pills come in especially handy, where they can prove useful. Not just, I feel like losing weight today. Not that kind of thing. But we'll dive into some other interesting things, like once you've lost weight or once you've gained weight, whatever it is, where are you going to live? What kind of house are you going to live in? What's the deal with houses these days? What's the deal? We're going to get to that and other interesting things. And we'll speak with the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. Let me get the door for you. Let's go into Café Anyway. Café Anyway. Welcome to Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's episode 3239, and Mike Matthews here at Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, a place where people like to go to and eat pizza. It's such a really delicious food, and it may not be so good for you to eat, but that's the song about
Mike's Daily Podcast.
about, I don't know what that was. What was that about? Was it about Las Vegas? Maybe.
Mike's
Las Vegas
Daily
has a tourism slump.
Podcast.
That's the issue they've got.
Yeah.
Tourism in Las Vegas is facing a significant downturn. 2 months ago, over 450,000 fewer passengers showed up, 450,000 less than the previous year. It marks the 10th consecutive month of decline as travelers are increasingly deterred by high hotel and food costs combined with worsening gambling odds. Oh. And Trump's trade policies also involved as a major factor in the sharp drop-off of international visitors. Trade policies. Oh, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what would tariffs have to do with Vegas. The food that they have at all the restaurants. What does Vegas make? I guess they're making the gambling machines, the slot machines, that stuff. I guess that's somehow involved with tariffs. Then there are billionaires that like to waste their money in Vegas, or just billionaires in general. There is a record over 3,000 billionaires globally, 3,028, with a total collective wealth of about $16.1 trillion.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Now, the tech sector this year, and actually in 2025, minted more than 50 new AI billionaires. 50 new AI billionaires. And with all the AI stuff that happened in 2025, that makes sense. But the podcast picture doesn't have to do with AI. It's not AI at all. I never use AI with any of my pictures, but the podcast picture, which you can see at mikesdailypodcast.com, is yours truly in this beautiful forest that's up along Skyline Drive in what I hear is called Woodside. I also saw it called Redwood Park. So I don't know what it is, but it's a fun place to visit and drive. There's some nice trails there, and to drive over there. See a picture of that at mikesdailypodcast.com. And the late great Basil the Boxer and I actually went there a couple of times. And then if you are rich, maybe you will be able to afford a home. 75% of U.S. homes are rated unaffordable. 75% based on the average income from a typical U.S. citizen. And only about a quarter of the houses, 25% in condo sales, were purchased by first-time home buyers, a steep decline from the 50% of house and condo sales in the year 2010 Chowda. So only 24% of house and condo sales happened in 2024. But and were purchased in that suite. Only 24% were purchased by first-time home buyers is what I'm trying to tell you. Whereas it was 50% if you went back 15 years ago. How about working till you drop if you want to buy a house or any of that? The typical
all I want to do is sit on a couch and eat corn chips.
Maybe you want to retire and just do that. Sit on a couch. The typical retirement age in 2024 was 64. The age 64 for men, the age 62 for women. That's the age people were retiring at. If you go back to 1994, going back in time, knocking stuff over, 94. what was the popular song in 94? Were Bare Naked Ladies out yet? No, there would be a couple more years till they showed up. Probably Fiona Apple was just about coming out with her first album. Grunge, I think, was big in 94. Grunge music. People with their dilly dilly bands from Seattle doing the rock and roll. But if you go back to 1994, the average age for a man to retire was 61. And women actually retired at 59. Now it's 62 for women, 64 for men. Reasons for the retirement age being stretched out.
It didn't go quite as planned. Watch here.
It goes planned as this. Reasons include living longer is what I'm trying to say. Mouth is just deciding to just revolt against my face today. So living longer, staying healthier, not saving enough, full retirement age for Social Security is actually also being pushed to 67. Oh. And that's how Taylor Swift will sound when she retires. She'll sound like that. If she retires in 67. At 67, she'll be fat Taylor Swift. And this is just, hypothesizing. Because it gets tougher and tougher to lose weight. That's why they say you should build muscle now.
I can't hear you. Press the button, you donut.
And avoid the donuts. But the median sale for all U.S. homes last year reached a new all-time high of around $456,000. San Francisco Bay Area median sale price in the Bay Area was about $1.2 million. The typical home buyer now needs 7 years to save
Latina Uzi.
for not a Latina Uzi, but for a down payment. U.S. home prices continued to rise towards the end of the year. I think the mortgage rate, though, dropped pretty low today to its lowest in 3 years. 2026 will look busier, assuming modest price growth and further declines in borrowing costs. And home values should rise. Anyway, Café Anyway, roughly 1.7% this year. The value should rise. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, during the boom years of the pandemic, the annual gains regularly reached double digits for homes. So some of the other real estate themes that they're predicting in 2026.
They have 150 to 200 gas pumps.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
Massive. It's like a
Talking about Café Anyway.
Convenience store.
I'll say.
And
it's
inside
massive.
Is anything you can imagine. Food
anything.
From burgers to barbecue to
maybe even houses. You can buy houses here at Café Anyway.
Truck stop on steroids.
Oh.
Just can't buy steroids.
Okay. Maybe a quadruple dose of steroids.
I'm surprised.
Thank you. The real estate themes that they're predicting for 2026 include affordability remaining problematic. There's going to be regional variation, as well as improving sales activity and slower, steadier price growth. Okay.
We are the knights who say, "Nee."
You certainly are. That's great. Finally, Beyonce, speaking about all these billionaires and being able to afford homes and all this and steroids, Beyonce is now officially worth over $1 billion. She is the 5th musical artist ever to achieve billionaire status. Wow.
Mike, you want to join in on this conversation? You can join in.
Thank you. Is the conversation about billionaire performers? She joins the ranks of her husband, Jay-Z, as well as Taylor Swift, goes, I got a break, I'll break your name. Rihanna and Bruce Springsteen. I guess these are living billionaire musicians.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
You gotta just try harder. No, maybe you just need to listen to some Beyonce. That'll lift you up. 2023 Renaissance World Tour that Beyonce did pulled in around $579 million in ticket sales. $579 million. Then she had that concert film that was about $44 million that pulled in. Then her Cowboy Carter tour last year.
Nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
If you don't go to the concert, you know nothing, is what he's screaming. The highest grossing country music tour ever. It was a really country music tour, though. Earning over $400 million from tickets and $500 million from merchandise. Beyonce owns much of her music catalog and produces her albums, tours, films, and other creative work.
What was that about?
I don't know. The hair care product that she has, the hair care brand she owns, there's also a whiskey label she owns, and she does those high-profile Levi's campaigns that were involved, like with the Cowboy Carter video, I guess. And then there was the NFL Christmas Day halftime show that she got.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way.
No, it wasn't Sarah Huckabee that got $50 million. It was Beyonce. So pardon me, Sarah Huckabee. But that's how it goes. Hey, speaking of wonderful women, look who's here. Hello, my friends. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Wow, I should go to a Beyonce concert sometime, Mike Matthews. Yes, you should go, and maybe you could go
Mike,
there.
Take care. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Anytime. Stop by. You could go to the concert and perhaps sell your snow globes. Preferably not the ones that explode. Yes, Mike Matthews. I might get into trouble for that because I'm Chely Shoehart and I'm in the gift shop. Everybody needs to stop by. Yay. Chely Shoehart and her exploding snow globes. Excellent. Look who else is here. This crazy person. Speaking of crazy people, I've been watching that, what was it called? Something, Death by Lightning, about James Garfield, the president that we had. Not Andrew Garfield. He's a British actor. Played Spider-Man, dated Emma Stone, was in the Social Network. Oh my gosh, the guy that killed the President Garfield.
What, nuts?
He was absolutely nuts. Actually, an egotist and a narcissist. And I've worked and known many, many people like this. But this guy was so scary. And of course, he was also a murderer. Wow. So this has got Nick Offerman playing the vice president that took over after Garfield was assassinated. And it's it's on Netflix.
Oh, yes. I know all about how to spot microaggressions and root out privilege.
That's one of the things Netflix teaches you how to do. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to finish it. I'm big on The Closer. I love The Closer and Kira Sedgwick. Plus, there must have been people that worked on Northern Exposure that also worked on The Closer, because a lot of people from Northern Exposure show up on The Closer, and they also kind of sound alike. Northern Exposure, The Closer. And there's this Northern Disclosure podcast that we were discussing.
Why do they always interrupt our snacking?
No.
You're a demon.
Kai Alfred Hillig and I, when we were snacking, when he was on the show discussing his new album, we were talking about, because he told me about this Northern Exposure podcast, and it's fascinating because there is so much behind the scenes that I never knew about. And I've watched Northern Exposure each episode probably 3 times. And to hear Janine Turner and Rob Morrow discussing it, it's fantastic. And they have guests on from the show, the people that were actors.
Fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
Well, if you want the only problem with the podcast, I must say, and I would have said this to Kai Alfred if I had him back on the show, which I will try to do at some point, is it is also a video podcast. And because they're actors and they're all about how they look, because all actors care about is how they look, because that's their tool, is how they use their body is what gets them work, their face, etc., their voice.
Mom Donnie shows up. He's this young, handsome, charismatic guy who came out of nowhere.
Gotta be handsome and
won
charismatic.
Big in the most important city in the world, Trump's hometown, no less. He walks in, he smiles, he shakes Trump's hand. Trump now looks over in the corner. He sees J.D. Vance.
He's not as impressed.
All sweaty and eager. And he looks at you, he sees Stephen Miller sucking on his pinkies, and he looks around at all these weird, unattractive, AI-generated human vomits.
Who wants that?
Office. And he's like, why can't I have this Mom Donnie around? It's the classic opposites attract love story.
Well, that was sort of a love story there between Janine Turner and Rob Morrow on the show as Maggie and Dr. Fleischman. And they just, even though they're doing a podcast, that's a great... Audio-wise, it sounds so great to listen to until you hear them say something like, oh, look at this, or, oh, that's such a... And they don't ever describe what it is they're talking about. So you're lost. So many podcasters that are into this whole video thing, they don't care that the listeners are lost. That's what bugs me. And you got this going on with radio, because so many hosts on the radio are also videoing, and they don't ever describe what it is. They go, oh, look at that. Well, I can't. Like we heard that guy a little while ago say, watch this. Didn't go quite as planned. Watch this. What are you watching? I'm listening to you. It's ridiculous. So that's the only problem with that. Hey, I'm in a great mood today. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Wow, Mike. Yeah, you went on a little bit of a rant there. I did. But you see, you understand, I have such a respect, and I hold so dear the listener, the person that sits down and listens to something. I think they're awesome. I've always had this wonderful relationship with them because I truly respect them. And that's gone now because we don't care about the listener anymore. We're more interested in the viewer because cameras can be on anything now. Cameras they're basically just this piece of paper I'm tearing apart there as an excellent example for sound effects. And yes, you can actually watch the video to this if you go to twitch.tv, but you got to do it quick because the video gets deleted within a week. And there's a link to that at mikesdailypodcast.com. But yes, it just, the respect is gone. And that's why I love radio, why I love the original podcasts, which were only audio. And I love all the audio plays and all of that because it deals with your imagination and your ears. And okay. Like that, the horse that just stopped by, Nilly. And I'm sure for all of you who are deaf, who are maybe reading the transcription of this, I respect you too, because you're actually reading and that's cool and you're making it happen. And anyway, Café Anyway, let me pour myself some root beer because I need to calm down and just tell you, I need to get some input from you because I know I gripe about this a lot, but what do you think about all this? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Thank you so much for listening to this wonderful program that is simply called Mike's Daily Podcast because my name is Mike, and it's a podcast, and it's daily, and I'm trying to tape the logo to the microphone because I have that on the video, even though that doesn't matter. The tape is just not taking. The tape is just not. This is just, it's one of those days. Take it away, Frame. Thanks for listening.
Thanks again. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.